Oh, pretty. Hi guys, welcome to the channel and thank you for taking time out of your day, your evening to be here and join us. It really truly means a lot to me. We are going to talk about Z06 and the state of affairs of this marketplace, the wackiness, trying to order the car, request an allocation, all that. Some of the stuff that we're doing too at our dealership coming up in this video. Real quick, if I may, just kind of open up. Let me just ramble just for a minute. You guys know sometimes when I turn this on and I just start talking, but I do want to just be open and share some things with you if I may. The last couple of weeks, I think you guys know it's been really, really tough. And the week that I was off air actually intended to be longer, but it's good to be back. And I am going to stay back. But here's what went through my mind. I almost just shut the channel down and just said, forget it. You know, these long hours. I mean, here, I've worked 12 hours today and it's 3 hours after close. And I'm still here committed to you guys, this car in the marketplace. And I think that's the message, that I am committed to you. I had to realize that I was an idiot. Even though my intentions and my goals were to try to make everybody happy, you got to be a realist. It's not going to happen. You're not going to do it. That's life. I'm good. I'm past that. I'm focused on you guys that have been so sincere, so kind, and so fun to work with. You've motivated me to continue moving forward. And that week that I was off air, I sat back and I thought about, you know, why did I start the YouTube channel? And I thought about why I started it. It was to promote myself, the dealership, this car, the lifestyle, and you guys. Sharing your stories and your journeys was so much fun to me. There's so much more I can't wait to share with you guys. And I wanted people coming to this marketplace to realize that it just wasn't a cool car, that it has an unbelievable, unmatched heritage and history that once you understood it and you appreciated it, it made you appreciate your car just a little bit more. Because we've got something that no other automobile in the world has. It really makes me proud to be a part of it. But when I started this channel, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I still don't. I mean, I'm starting to kind of find my way. But I remember watching sometimes, and then somebody would comment on the video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's watching. They're listening to what we're saying. They're engaging. They're making comments. You guys are awesome. That's my focus going forward. I got to thank you all for all that encouragement and support. It's hard because I'm dancing this fine line, you know, trying to be a YouTuber and then trying to be a retailer. You know, I want to be relevant to you guys. I want to be important to you guys. I want to be a factor when it comes to conversations on this car. And I have to admit that there's times in years past that I shared information that knowingly I probably shouldn't shared, just for the sake of a couple of views and conversations and to be relevant and to be first. Everyone wants to be first. You know what, looking back now, you know, this is just my tenure. I've been doing this for a while. Now you really start to look back, you know, that hindsight. It's like, yeah, I would have done things differently if I could do it over again. It didn't really matter to be first. The information's going to come out eventually. Who cares, man? I think it's more important to give you the right information than worry about being first. And then I would share information that I thought was okay to share, and then I would still hurt people that I didn't intend to hurt. So I'm dancing that fine line and still learning, and I guess I'm just letting you know, going forward, there is great focus on you, this car, information, a little bit of entertainment, but I am going to use more discretion so our conversations become more solid and do become more relevant. Okay? Seriously, thank you. And thank you for everybody that, you know, has contacted us and want to do business with us. That's cool, man. Thank you for that. With our store, focused on Corvette. This is our baby. But there's only so much that I can do. There's only so much the dealership will do. We're all dealing with changing market conditions. This Z06 is the wackiest thing I've seen in 26 years. I think you guys have to agree. I have never seen anything like this. And I've seen some crazy stuff in the car business, I'm telling you. But nothing like this on the Z06. I will say this to those of you trying to reach us. You know, it's easier to do these videos too because I can address all of you that would take the time to watch, which means a lot, rather than not having the time to make those phone calls and answer all those hypothetical questions and text messages and emails. I will be getting to those, but I got to put those to the side right now because right now I got to focus on the allocation cycle at hand for November. That takes a lot of time to call these people, let them know, yes, your allocation is going to move forward. We got to finalize, answer questions, make sure the build's correct. I got to do all this before Tuesday. So I got a lot on my plate, plus I got 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. You guys know what I'm talking about. Plus I've got cars coming in. We've got to get those ready for delivery too. I've told you before, from the outset in the introduction of Z06, there's a lot to discover on this new car. There's a lot of time to discuss it. And we will have in the next couple of months. I'll get a hold of all you guys. And there's a big mass email to the main database that I haven't sent yet. And I'm kind of glad that I haven't because I got to change some of the verbiage and some of the discussion we're going to have with you now in just a moment. What we intend to do here at Coughlin, what we can do, what we can't do. Because when it comes to this car, this Z06, this is the most important thing out of all of it. Right here. Big old question mark. Because we don't know what we're dealing with as far as availability and allocations. It's not been announced to us. We don't even have the damn price of the car yet. I could tell you stories that would just make your head spin what we're dealing with on this car, but then I look back and I try to look at the other side. That's cool. There's huge demand. There's huge desire. More on that in just a moment. So we really just don't know. You know, from the other hats that I wear over the years in the car business, ordering cars, managing inventory and that kind of stuff, I'm a numbers guy. So I've said before, I think, so we can have some kind of idea what we're dealing with in regards to availability, I said, I think it's going to be 15 to 20%, maybe 25, but I think maybe in that 20% range. And I use our historicals as well as Corvette's historicals to determine that conversation. Let's go back for a second. C7 Corvette, the introduction of Z06 in 2015. Production was just over 20%. It's 6,980 cars. Okay, so if they make 35,000 cars in 2023, which they've not done yet in C8, you guys can do the math. At 20%, that's 7,000 cars. If they make 40,000 C8s, which I know has been the goal, and they haven't done that yet, then it's 8,000 cars available, and still not enough. So the first year C7 Z06, to kind of tie the historicals and maybe the mindset of Chevy's intentions, was about 7,000 cars, okay? In 2016, this market went wacky for Z06, man. 35% of the production was Z06, over 14,000 cars, and they made over 40,000 Corvettes that year. But in 2017, the same thing happened to Z06 that it did in 2010. When they introduced the Grand Sport, down they went. You had a car that looked like Z06, but didn't have the price, but it had the body. So that changed things drastically. In 2017, though, it didn't go down as drastic as it did in 2010, although production was just over 7,000, and they were about 22% overall production for Z06, and production overall was just over 32,000 cars. So there was a change in 2017 because things were starting to approach and get ready for ZR1, introduction of C8, all that was going on. The plant was going through all kinds of construction, so there's some reasoning in why those numbers went down so quickly. So going forward, I think we have to use, for conversation right now, until we know, and not till probably mid to late winter, until we know what the first year allocation is going to be. Let's just say you're a dealership that gets 100 Corvettes, and you get 20% of that is going to be Z06. Okay, so that's 20 cars. You don't get the 100 plus 20, you're going to get the 100 less the 20, leaving you with 80 Stingrays to sell for 2023, which is good in that a sense if they can stay in that 20, I hope 25%, but you're going to see a demand and a desire still going forward for the 2023 Stingray. And we announced the other day those production dates, a little bit earlier start in early May for 2023. losing about 6 weeks of production, so that'll affect things for 2022. More conversations still to come on that. But this is something that we're using just so we have an idea of what we're getting. And we don't know how many we're getting. We can't control it. You can't say, I need more Z06s. They'll tell you what you're going to earn. There will be a formula and how they determine that. We don't know yet. We look at our historicals. They'll look at what they can build versus what they can't build. I think supply chain issues still become a factor for 2023. We hope and we pray that we're out of it, but I think we have to be realistic that we're not going to be. Our entire world and anything you try to buy, build is under those conditions right now, those constraints. But they may even get to the point, I just wanted to mention this too, when they determine the allocations for the dealerships, when we get that after the new year, I don't think we're going to get it beforehand. So I'm just saying that we're going to get it after the new year. I don't know for sure, but I anticipate that's when we're going to get it. As they get closer to build the car, know what they can do. They may even take your historicals of 2019 ZR1 sales and say, hey, 25% of your Z06 allocation will be based on your ZR1 sales. So there's always a lot of historicals when it comes to this car. So I would just say this, if you're interested in the car with us, thank you again. I'm gonna get to you guys, but you have to sit down, relax, and be patient. I've got to take care of business at hand, and we will get with you. I'll tell you again here in just a quick second what we intend to do. I've seen all kinds of wacky videos out there, some of them good to see what people have been going through to try and obtain this car, reserve an allocation. Even the one guy sat outside a dealership for hours, and he was a number in the line, but yeah, there was people online and they were a different number, and there was a confusion. It's like, hey, well, you put your deposit in after me, and then your number's lower than mine, and it was crazy. And he was ordering 2 Z06s. Oh, for me and my wife. Come on, dude. That guy's gonna freaking flip that car, and you know it. Finally, they got hip to that and canceled the one order, only one per household type thing. But that stuff is going on. And that's stuff that we have to watch out for to protect the dealership in the manner in which we sell it. So there are some caveats there. And there's some caveats to some of the pricing structures out there that people aren't talking about, but you're telling me. I don't want to get into that in detail because it's really not my place to say now. But there's so many goofy games going on with this car right now. In fact, before we go to the other board and have a continued conversation about Z06, this is not an unfamiliar conversation about allocations and distribution, supply versus demand. Here's a little clip from a guy talking about Porsche and what they're going through. I think you guys can relate to this.
And right off the bat, it's a disappointing number. It's not going to fix the current problem that no one can buy new cars. Let's jump straight to the 911s. Overall, there was about 900 911s allocated for the next 3 months, which is not a lot. You know, 300 cars for the whole country each month. That's just not enough. There is about 190 dealers in the country, so you do the math on that. It's very few, just a handful of cars. Some dealers, if you're a smaller dealer, you get maybe 2 cars. If you're a larger dealer, you might get 4 or 5 cars. It's not enough to deal with the huge backlog of 911 purchases waiting out there that have put down deposits. I think a lot of dealers are expecting a bit of a windfall for this allocation round, and it just hasn't happened. So there's going to be a lot of awkward conversations.
There's so many people right now, and that's a good thing, that there's a want and there's a desire for this new car. This Z06 really is a monster, and it's something that the team should be extremely proud of, that they've created this market frenzy for the car. But there's people that are taking deposits for this many cars, and then when they're done at the cycle, okay, I'm just Xing off all these. You can't really see them because it's red against pink, but you get an idea. And this is what they'll earn for the life cycle of Z06, however long that may be. 3 years, maybe 4 years. But they've taken all these deposits, and people are walking around with a number. I just want to know what number I am. I want to be on the list. Here's my money. Put this number underneath your pillow and have a good night. Well, how's the car drive? Well, I don't know. I'm number 1457. And there's dealerships that have taken more than this many reservations. You can't, I don't know, can you see it? We just did the 20% over here. There's nobody going to get this many. 14, there's 4,000 deposits in some stores. They're not going to get those cars. They're not going to. I got to grab my phone, a little prop here. Hi, Kai Spandy, Corvette Assembly Plant Manager. I know you're getting ready to end the C8 generation. Hey, you got to do me a favor. Can you continue that Z06 for another 3 years? Because I still really have a lot of people on my list. That conversation, that's not happening, man. So we don't get in this position. That's kind of why we're waiting to see exactly what we're going to get. Those are real things that are happening out there. There's even situations, I've talked to a couple of guys that they said their dealership said, well, you're on the X pricing list. They said, here's your price level. Oh, okay. But then they found out, well, what do you mean you're ordering cars for stock too? Well, yeah, those are our stock cars, and those are going to be a different pricing level. But your number such and such on this pricing level. So once we sell these cars, then we'll get to your order. They may not even get to that order because they'll be focusing on those orders. That stuff's happening right now. It's happened in the past. So what we're doing, looking at all situations, all changing market conditions. As much as I take stuff personal here, I don't want you guys to take things personal. Whatever the dealership decides, I'll support it. That's what we got to do. It's not personal. It will be just business, doing the best we can with what we have. So those of you that I'll be reaching out to, I've already talked to a lot of you. I've talked to, I think, 300 that I've gotten hold of so far. I have another 300 to go. So you get an idea, the massiveness just of my list. Just of my list. Is that crazy? And it means a lot that people are inquiring and asking for that opportunity to do business. I mean, as a salesman, that's all you can ask for. So thank you for that. But what we're going to do is continue to take the pricing feedback from you guys. What you want to do, where you want to be, to either, do you want to be here or do you want to be somewhere else to actually make sure you're actually getting the car? We're not sure what that's going to take at this point. So I'm just going to take your feedback on what you want to do and your intentions. I'm logging all that in a very specific database that'll have a meeting with the ownership and the general manager at the beginning of the year, sometime as we get closer getting the allocation information. And then we'll have a conversation with those of you on that, what we can do. I think for all intents and purposes where we are right now, if all the people that we've talked to are real and don't mind waiting because they know up front they're going to have to wait, this is a sellout, this car. And this generation's not done yet with surprises. Who knows what's coming? I don't even know if there's going to be a Grand Sport. People talk about the E-Ray, they talk about a ZR1, there's a Zora edition that's been rumored. We don't know. It's an ever-changing market with incredible changing conditions that we have to deal with and have to adjust our lives and our business plans accordingly. So that's all I want to say about that. Covered a lot of stuff today. I just want to thank you guys again for listening, supporting. Even if you're not getting this car, I want you to have fun watching the people that are. You know, I mean, feel good about the guy on the camera down the street in the other state that's getting one. Hey, good for him. Good for the brand, for Corvette. We're in this together, man. But there is only so much I can do. And I think most of you understand that, okay? I think that's enough of my ramblings tonight. I just wanted to have a specific conversation about Z06 and the marketplace and our channel, my representation, because my mind's been all over the place, man. And you guys have actually grabbed me many times and just shake me and say, hey, you dummy. I said, thank you, I need that. Go ahead, slap me upside the head sometimes. I am refocused. And I'm so thankful to have the opportunity to simply be here. And I know my intention on some things that I want to do with you guys and through you guys in the future is going to make it all worth it. So have a great night, day, again, whatever time you're catching us. Support the channel. That means a lot by subscribing and hitting the bell. Thumbs up the video, making comments down below, good or bad, whatever the case may be. It's great to hear from you. I just want you to know that you guys mean a lot. And you are really, truly the reason the reason I'm here. And that's exactly what we're going to share on Sunday's video. There'll be a Coffee with Conti show. Just another chance to sit and talk. I'll be on the couch this time, because now my legs are getting a little sore. But I'll be on the couch this time and sharing stories and journeys and just the thoughtfulness you guys have towards me. When I open up viewer mail, some stuff you guys have sent, and I never ask you, I don't expect you to send a darn thing. Just be here, support us, make a comment, send an email, send a text, stop by, say hey, give me a high five, slap upside the head, whatever, that's fine. But the stuff you do is very appreciative and is really, truly amazing. So we're going to share that. That's going to be Sunday's show. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving, now I got a couple other things out of the way and I was able to take a step back. We're going to do I got so many deliveries to share with you guys. My gosh. I know people are probably thinking, man, Rick, you filmed the send-off, but hey, when am I ever going to be on the channel? I got a busy production schedule. I mean, I'm here now 4 hours after close. And I'm looking forward to, I think in that week, I'll let you know the dates, we'll do another send-off Pat celebration week, as I call it. Every day there'll be a video and another delivery of somebody and their experience and their cars. Now you guys are curious. I mean, that's human nature, man. Hey, what'd they get? What'd they get? What's that? Let me see that. That's good. I'm glad you're curious. I mean, you're excited for the car too. Okay, again, have a great night. I'll see you guys on Sunday.